Well, hello YouTube. I'm back. I'm making another video from my bed here because having some more problems with my back. Got my little friend with me here. Say hi, Greta. She's a good little dog. So I woke up yesterday around probably, I don't know, 5 o'clock, the time I usually wake up. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and as soon as my foot hit the floor outside of the bed, it was like somebody hit my spine with a sledgehammer. It was bad. It was really bad, and from what I can tell, all the muscles and everything was so locked up because I went to go relieve myself, and I couldn't. I wasn't able to. So I kind of had to like move around a little bit, like walk to try and loosen things up, and eventually it did, and I was able to do what I needed to. But I laid back down on the bed, and I wasn't able to get out of it for much more than going to the bathroom or going. And I think I ate like a sandwich, and that was it yesterday. It was a good sandwich, though. It was a good sandwich, so I liked it. But I'm going to be meeting with a neurosurgeon because they got the MRI done, like I said in the last video, and there's definitely bulging discs in there, and they go, it looks like, to the right of my spine, which is weird because I get the numbness and the tingling in my left leg, but I I don't know. He says that's because the spinal cord is like, if that's the center, the hole that the spinal cord goes through, they call it for some reason I want to say a foramen, but I think that's the one in your skull. I had to take pathophysiology and anatomy and all that for my paramedic years ago, and it wasn't really something that stuck in my head, so I can't remember what it was, but it was the hole that's in the center of your spine, because that goes through everything and the discs are inflamed. It's pinching that, so that's why it can be either leg. That's probably also why I'm having the trouble relieving myself when I need to, because the nerves are the nerves are compressed, like they're squeezed down like this, and when the nerve is compressed, it causes different side effects, and one of them is that you can't use things in that area, if that makes any sense. It makes it harder to do certain things. So I ended up taking Flexeril, the muscle relaxer that tends to help me, and I took a hot shower, and that still didn't really do all that much. So I stayed in bed all day yesterday, which was well, I watched a lot of Trevor Wallace videos. I can say that. It's getting difficult for me to not do anything now. I'm getting tired of it, and I'm getting annoyed with it because I feel like I should be doing stuff. I feel like I need to be doing stuff. I feel like, I mean, there is stuff that I need to do. But here I sit, because if I put weight on my feet, I'm in significant pain, and hopefully the neurosurgeon can come up with something. At this point, I made the mistake of putting it up in a Facebook group that I'm part of, that, oh, I'm going through this, and it's a carpenters group for woodworkers and carpenters and stuff like that, and everybody has an opinion. It's go to the chiropractor, don't go to the chiropractor. Oh, the chiropractor's a quack. Oh, the neurosurgeon's a quack. Don't do anything. Do cocaine. That was my favorite comment. Uh, don't do anything. Do coke. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe rub it on my back. That would make the pain go away, but no, that's too much energy for me. But a lot of people were telling me, go right to physical therapy, which I do. I've asked my chiropractor several times about physical therapy, and his response is always, "Oh, well, you can't do anything now. If we start doing physical therapy, it'll hurt more." And it's like, yeah, but I can't lay in friggin' bed anymore. I'm getting tired of this. I can't sit in the chair. I can't do nothing anymore when I have so much to do. And it's more of the same. Just, oh, take it easy, and we'll get this taken care of. Oh, your spine's moving nicely. It's like I'm honestly starting to wonder, and I've been wondering for about a month now, if I had not gone to the chiropractor, would this have just gone away the way it usually does? And would I not still be in pain? Because I mean, he's moving things each week. It's being clicked into place twice a week, and I mean, I guess we are going down to once a week next week. So who the hell knows? But I'm wondering if I had just ignored this the way they say, "Oh, don't ignore it; it'll get worse." Would it really? I mean, I if you keep manipulating the same spot over and over and over again, it's it's not going to get better. I mean, you got to leave it alone. And I, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not even. I have no training, other than, ooh, that looks bad. Wrap a pillow around it and let's drive to the hospital. But I just it feels like it's just kind of becoming, okay. You get money from me twice a week, and that's why we're doing this so frequently. And I mean, I know that's probably, I know it's not. I know the guy is working towards getting me the neurosurgery consult and that kind of stuff. But it's there's there's got to be a way that they just give you like a cortisone shot or something in your back, and it takes away the inflammation, because laying here and taking meloxicam every day isn't doing anything. And I don't know. You can probably hear Greta snoring. She's a good little dog. She's been spending a lot of time with me, so she's a good little girl. She's worried about me. We got her. So my wife had always told me when we were dating, and then when we got married, oh, one of these years I'm going to get you a lab for your birthday, because she has a chocolate lab named Dipsy, who you guys have seen. And this was always the thing. Oh, I want to buy you a dog for your birthday, and I of course always wanted another dog. So I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And probably 2 years ago now, we were finally able to get her. We found a local breeder. It's actually in the town that's. So if you go south from here, from where I live, and you go out towards Connecticut, so southwest from where I live, as if you're going to the Walmart that we go to, because we won't use the one over in Johnston, because there's never anything there. It's right next to Providence, the one in Johnston, and all of the people from Providence, from that area of Providence, use that Walmart. And there's so many people, there's not enough stock, I guess you could say. And that's why we just won't use it, because if you go to that Walmart, it's about 15 minutes. If you go to the one in Connecticut, it's about a half hour. It's worth the extra 15 minutes because it's in a very rural area in Connecticut. There's like around it, there's like a little bit of an urbanized area with like tenements, and there's a Catholic school and a couple of old mills. But for the most part, it's like a rural area. And because there's less people going there, there's more stuff on the shelves. There's more of a selection on the shelves. So that's where we'll always go. It's nothing against the one in Johnston. It's just there's never anything there. So we go to Connecticut, and that's easier for us. And if you go, but that's not the point of the story. If you go that way, like you are going to Connecticut, there's a turnoff right off of the main road there. And if you follow that down, you go into like a more rural area than I live in. not by much though when I think about it. And you know, there's the little fire station and the rescue and everything, and you go past all that. There's a farm called Babbling Brook Farms, and I think they raise rabbits, but they also what they specialize in, what they breed is labs. And I have always said that the ideal dog for me is a female lab. And that's because I fell in love with my wife's dog when we first got together. She's the reason that I will only have female labs now. For a long time, I said, "Oh, I'll only have chocolate female labs," but here's my dark chocolate baby, semi-sweet. But no, my view is that a female lab is big enough that they're not going to injure themselves. They're not going to hurt themselves climbing over things, but they're still small enough that if you're taking them somewhere and there's a, you know, the path is covered in broken glass because people throw beer bottles or whatever there, you can still pick them up and carry them without, well, I can't right now. I mean, certainly can't right now, but you can lift them up and carry them over the broken glass so that they don't get hurt. If you've got them and you're using them for retrieval for birds, and they're in the water, you can easily grab and pull them out because they don't weigh that much. I mean, I think Dipsy weighs probably 80 pounds, and Greta is her full size, and she weighs 60 pounds. They're not light, but they're not 110, 120 pounds like, you know, my parents' dogs and that kind of stuff. I mean, one my mother has now is probably 200 pounds. A French Mastiff, at least I don't have contact with them anymore, but I think she still has them. But I mean, they're big. They're huge, and if they, you know, they're getting into something they shouldn't, or they're in an area that they shouldn't be, and you need to pick them up, that's a lot to pick up. It's a person. But a female lab is, for me, the perfect size. They're a good dog. They listen. They're trainable. They're very trainable, and she's a good little girl. They're incredibly loyal. And they like to sleep. But anyway, I probably rambled about labs and everything a bit too much. It's gone on long enough, I think. So, I'm going to be laying here until I go and pick up some, it's a pain-relieving cream that has CBD or something in it. It's something cannabis-related in it that I used something similar to it years ago I was working for a commercial carpentry place, and I don't like commercial carpentry. It was, I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it, but that's not the point. And you're doing steel stud framing, you know what I mean? Like the steel studs instead of 2x4s. So you're not shooting nails into those. You're using an impact driver for like 10 hours a day, and 10, 12 hours a day. And it really beats the hell out of your forearm. Like it hurts. It hurts your wrist. It hurts your forearm up into your elbow if you're doing this all day long. And one of the guys on the crew was like, "Oh, try this. This'll help." And I rubbed it all over my arm, and within 10 minutes, my arm didn't hurt. I said, "Oh God, that's great. What is that?" He says, "Oh, it's got CBD in it. It's, you know, it's made from hemp, from marijuana." I said, "Oh, okay." And I mean, it doesn't get you high. There's other stuff for that, but it helps because I think this is called Freeze. I don't know. It's like a cream that you put on, and it's supposed to penetrate into the muscles, and it's supposed to help. The guy at the store it's called The Joint on Route 6. The Joint on 6. He sells all sorts of CBD related things. And I called him up, and he said he knew me because I've been in there before for other things. And he actually reminds me of a guy I used to work with. It's not the same guy, but he reminds me of this kid that I used to work with, Chris Grant. he looks like he's 12 years old, but I mean he flew for one of the helicopter services around here as a paramedic, and he works for another ambulance service that I had worked for at one point. But so I went from working 24-hour shifts, 24 on, 24 off, 24 on, 5 days off. It was great. It was a fantastic schedule. I went to another service that did 2 8-hour nights and then 2 12-hour nights. So I lost 8 hours of overtime in the process, and I lost working 2 days a week. Needless to say, I did not like that ambulance service, and I got the hell out of there in about a year because it was miserable. But he went to that ambulance place as well, and he loved it. He loved the schedule. He thought it was great. And I mean, that's good. I'm happy for him. But that's not the point. The guy who owns the store looks like him, and always reminds me of him. And he's got some cream there he said I could put on my back and it would help. I guess he sold it to other people and they really like it. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna sit here with my lab for a few more hours, probably read a Louis L'Amour book, and then go and get my cream and probably return to sitting around. I don't know. So I'm gonna have you guys look at her while I say this. I hope wherever you are, you're as comfortable as she is, and that God is with you. Thank you. Oh, maybe it's not that comfortable. Thank you.